Well, welcome back, Wolfpack. Verlis here to start this week's Fan Fridays, kicking it off with some battles from Neve, who claims that they have one of the best rain teams out there. So let's go give it a shot and see how it breaks down for Fan Fridays. But there is something interesting. Ever since I first got wrecked by a Swift Swim Kabutops, life has never been the same for me. And now, there's Fossil Pokemon, multiple Fossil Pokemon that get the Swift Swim, so Kabutops is really good with it. What is Armaldo going to do is a question as well. So Armaldo Politoed, that's going to be the lead right there. And that's another cool thing. We have Politoed. You know, just because we look at Pelipper and Pelipper's like the new Drizzle Pokemon, doesn't mean that Politoed is worse or immediately irrelevant. I say that they both have their good sides to them, and Politoed can sit in there and work just fine. So Incineroar, that Protect will be protected right there, so getting a read. Then Armaldo coming in with the Rock Slide. I mean, Swift Swim Rock Slide. That's just nasty right there. Incineroar Savali take huge damage right there. What? Wait. No. Stop it with... Wait. Double stop. What? Calm down, game. Oh my goodness. So, Armaldo just tanked a super effective hit like it was nothing, and then just put out absurd amounts of damage. And then has also a chance to flinch behind that. And then it's Life Orb, so we don't have to guess that as Choice Band. That's just Armaldo's damage and tankiness. My goodness. So, Assault Vest going to be knocked off right there, losing hit points because of Life Orb. Scald will be enough to tag down the Incineroar. So, yeah, just clean destruction. The opponent just can't do anything against this, and it's working pretty well. So now Salamence comes in, and Salamence, no Intimidate, so has the Moxie, it looks like, and then that's going to be the Protect. So just weirdness all around. Metagross going to take that Bullet Punch, and if Armaldo survives it, that would be, yeah, okay, good. If Armaldo survived that, I would be wondering why this Pokemon isn't in every single battle. That's crazy. But Politoed reading the Protect, getting the Scald, Metagross is going to go down right there. I mean, that's the trade, because look at that. Politoed is so healthy right now that unless Salamence goes for the Mega Evolve Double Edge, you might as well just try to hit on Metagross, which is obviously going to priority out this crazy Pokemon that's sweeping like the Armaldo. So now Silvali's back in, Beartic, Politoed out. Beartic's Icicle Crash is going to miss, and the Salamence has the Fly. I mean, you can still use it into one of the greatest combos of all time. Yo, the opponent is making it work. Look at that. Okay, there's so much going on because Silvally has the Water Memory, which means that if that had Stab Boost, that could have been enough to double KO. And then Salamence will have just survived because of the Fly. Beartic's too fast, so that's going to cause the Icicle Crash to miss again. Politoed goes down to the Fly. Yo, the opponent, I would say bringing it back, but then that's kind of one of the unfortunate... Rain's so good. Before Tapu Koko made Rain almost irrelevant just through existing with, absurd amounts of discharge coverage and just nuking out anything, Water-type Pokemon, they get so much benefit from that Rain, just enhanced damage, but then Ice. So they get to cover for Dragon-type Pokemon as well, and then we also have Pokemon that are running the Swift Swim. Swift Swim, Ice Beam, Garchomp with Scarf generally can't stop that depending on how the sweeping is, what Pokemon is doing it. And then we also have the Beartic coming in. Beartic, primary Ice-type Pokemon, also gaining that speed. So it just naturally takes out the Dragon threats, and then just has good damage. Somewhat lacking coverage, outside of Water, Ice, maybe Grass, or whatever other coverage you're running for. But that was pretty cool. And then Armaldo spices it up as well with that Rock and Bug, because it's not Water. It just comes in and it does its own stab things. It does huge damage as well. Silvali's Explosion did surprising amounts. Let's get the next battle ready as well. But Silvali's Explosion did surprising amounts for not being stabbed, and only 95 on that base attack. And there we go, into the next battle, and it looks like it's going to be a 6v6 as well. And look at how scary that could be from the opponent, that we have the Raichu, and we also have the Tapu Koko. So VGC is kind of hard to break down with this, because Beartic, even though it got a change to its ability, you know, it has the Slush Rush, it has all this new cool stuff to play around with, it was not a Lola Dex, so we weren't able to play around with it with all the new support and stuff. So that kind of made things a little awkward. But there are a few Swift Swim Pokemon that are still accessible, so I'm wondering, yeah, why don't you just, go Scarf on the Politoed, and then you go Swift Swim, and then you just wreck any Tapu Koko, and you hyper aggro some strats. Don't know why we didn't see much of that in VGC. That would have been interesting to see develop, but yeah. So Beartic comes in with the Icicle Crash, and Beartic is also in a pretty interesting position because, again, it doesn't have to worry about electric shenanigans. Politoed protects it right there. That's going to be the obvious bait, and then boom, just free KO with the Icicle Crash, and the opponent looks to want to get this over with on that Solgaleo. Like, fine, bring in the legendary Pokemon, and that's going to be the Night Slash. So, super effective hit on Solgaleo, not enough to KO. That was the crit as well. Higher chance to crit on that Night Slash. And then it looks like we're going to see our Z-move. The Stokes Spark Surfer, I don't know the name. Something, Alolan Raichu. Yeah, it is Stokes Spark Surfer, cool. Pancakes, yeah. Alolan Raichu's adorable, cool. We just have some animation go through. Just gonna chill it out. On to the Politoed though. Politoed, somehow survives that. What is going on? Paralysis comes through though. So, Assault? No, it can't be Assault Vest because it used Protect. I don't know how that survived, but hey, things happened. And so Galio comes in. Woo, that Sunsteel Strike though. Yeah, that's going to wreck the Beartic. And then Scald Return. Looks like the Politoed just doubling down onto Solgaleo. And that would be enough with the Rain boost and just overall good things that Politoed can do in Rain. Stab, yeah, shenanigans. So Tapu Koko comes in. That's what I mean. If, like, we just... Ooh, Balo. Which one's this? That's going to mix things up. It's about to say, like, oh, what we do is we bring in the Armaldo and we use that to get the outspeeds and then we just win. But actually, the Raichu combo adds another layer to this because Raichu is going to be doubling its speed as well. So then technically now going to be faster, and if it had Discharge, and that means bad things. Like, it's just so crazy when you start breaking this down. However, Raichu Tapu Koko wasn't as common as we expected it to be, and VGC is just a mess. So giving up the Politoed, sacrifice into the Trick Room setup. So I don't know what that's for. But now we're bringing a Gangsta. So we got Bala Gangsta combo right here. And by seeing the Wishiwashi and Team Select, I guess it's like, yeah, that's what you're going to be throwing down. So still have Rain. Trick Room switching around and stuff. I mean, if there's another way of resetting the Rain, that could get pretty interesting. But the Earthquake going to come in and clean out these electric types. My goodness. So Tapu Koko not going to get one shot off of that. Raichu takes enough damage to get KO'd. And then we all know what's going to happen. Instruct. And instructing the Wishiwashi is one of the most devastating things I have seen in the 7th generation so far. Because it's just one of those massive Pokemon. Like, yeah, it's built to take multiple hits. And it's built to be okay with taking multiple hits, but then dishing out some absurd stats. Like, it's what, a 620 base stat total Pokemon? And then in Rain, if it gets that stab, like, the waterfalls just start one-shotting. So Ninetales comes in. Incineroar comes in. Let's see what we can do to these guys. Oh, Incineroar. Not the best thing to have, but it's his last 2 Pokemon, so he doesn't have a choice. He just has to bring it. And then Muddy Water. So Earthquake, Muddy Water. Mixed. Interesting. And that's enough to KO the Incineroar on split damage. Like, I understand, super effective. But what? And then that Muddy Water was still so much damage too. Wait, like, I want to know, because I'm trying to figure it out. Quiet Nature, 100 EVs in attack for that Earthquake to hit like that, and then the rest just in special attack to be able to do that? Like, yeah, the Rain, I guess the Rain boosting all that. Yeah, I understand, like, the Incineroar KO shouldn't surprise me, but whenever I see a move doing split damage like that, it's like, oh yeah, that happens. And Ninetales, almost enough to just get straight one-shot as well. And then the Instruct comes through and just makes sure everything dies. So breaking down the other things, you know, we have Primarina. Primarina benefits pretty heavily from the Trick Room. So I'm wondering if that's how the team plays out, you know. Politoed gets the Rain down there. It's kind of a sacrificial Pokemon. Guessing it might have the Damp Rock. I didn't keep track. Actually, I'm going to go into the battle really quick just to see how many turns there were, because Rain was up the entire time. So I think Damp Rock to keep the Rain up, and that way it's like, okay, Swift Swim as long as we need it. If the Rain's looking to expire sooner, we might as well just bring in and then transition over into that Trick Room. I don't know what Armaldo has planned outside of Trick Room, but it can still, like, take a hit and do something painful back. 6 turns. So, yeah. Guess that's enough to kind of confirm Damp Rock, because it was still going on that last turn, I'm pretty sure. Then what else do we have? Then we had Primarina. Yeah, Primarina, that Pokemon wrecks. So yeah, it's just a good transition, especially in the 6v6. So I'm guessing if Politoed goes down sooner, you just have double Swift Swim. What are you going to do with Armaldo and the Beware just like barreling down on you with that Swift Swim like that? It's pretty crazy stuff. And I think that's going to be a good way to start Fan Friday. So definitely surprising. I want to see more like Kabutops, because I like that Swift Swim Kabutops hype. It does some pretty ferocious things as well. I think we're going to be good to go right there. So guys, enjoy the video, and I'll see you in the next Fan Fridays.